Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time joining my channel, this is Katanjali from Queens, New York City, and today is September 28th, 2022. Today is my third full day in Copenhagen, Denmark, and actually my final day. I just checked out of my hotel and I'm waiting for my tour guide. I'm actually taking a tour to the countryside in Denmark. It's about an hour or so drive from the city, and I am going to do some hiking. I'm hiking this, I don't know what it is, but I'll get more information on it. It's supposed to be this very well-known sculpture. It's supposed to be this very well-known sculpture. And it has like many stairs, and climbing up would give you this beautiful view of Copenhagen. They call it the forest tour. So it's a half-a-day tour. I'm looking forward to that. I booked my tour through Viator, and then after that I'll head back into the city and do some museum hopping, and then I'm heading to another country in Europe. So I really hope you enjoy my day 1 and my day 2 vlog in Denmark, and yeah, so come along on this journey, and thank you so much for your support on this platform. See ya.
Christmas trees.
They're Christmas trees.
I think so, yeah.
It's pretty. Wow. I'm so happy that it's not raining. It wouldn't have been such a great hike. So I am at Camp Adventure, and I'm about to climb the forest. What is it? The forest tower. If that guy could walk up, then we can. You saw the guy with the older gentleman?
I mean, I was expecting it to be more as a hard walk, but since there's wood on the floor.
Hey, so this is the tower forest tower behind me. Like I said, it reminds me of the vessel in New York City, but this tower is much more like, the vibe is different because it's more of like, you know, you're surrounded by nature. And that's the forest. I think the guy said it was 950 steps. So let's do this. So just made it in to the first level of the vessel. It's actually not steps, but it's more like tramps. I'm trying to vlog this way so I don't get the rest of the group in the video. Yeah, the weather is beautiful and it's just something different to do outside of Copenhagen. I'm so happy I have the opportunity to do some kind of hike in outside the city of Denmark, because when I travel I usually like to explore, you know, places outside the city, especially getting a little closer to nature. But honestly, I don't think the Danish likes hiking. I'm sorry if any Danish YouTube fans are watching this video. My intention is not to you know, offend anyone. I'm just basing this off of my experience. I only been here for about 3 days, so I love you all Danish folks. Almost made it to the top. It's a fairly decent hike. There's a lot of older people here. It makes me feel more empowered. But I was asking them about the view and they said the view is gorgeous. What's your thoughts? Almost to the top. This is so worth it. Oh my god, look at this view. Denmark, you're beautiful. Wow, look at this view from the top. It's beautiful. So it's highly recommended to take this little hike up the forest tower, and it was like 55 minutes away from the city. I took a tour, but I feel like if you rent a vehicle and you're driving through Denmark, then you could obviously drive here, but you need a ticket to get in. So this is how the ticket looks like, and it's pretty safe to hike. If you're a solo traveler, you could do it on your own. I would recommend coming here though when it's not raining, but it's a really nice view of the forest, and you get to see the city, and plus it's like nice to be away from the city, closer to nature. It definitely reminds me, like I said, of the vessels in New York City, but it's just that when you climb up the vessel in New York City, you see like all buildings and the Hudson River, but this is so different. You could hear the birds singing, and there's a lot of like older folks here. Very peaceful. I hope you enjoy.
It's left in a bubble one time.
In Iceland?
No,
So I made it back into the city, Copenhagen, and that tour was awesome. I will definitely give the tour guide information. He's awesome too. I feel like it's a nice tour, as mentioned, you know, if you want to explore outside of the city. So I am about to grab some Danish pastry, and then I'm gonna scope out some museums. I found out as well that I could take the train back to the airport, so it'll be much cheaper. Sorry.
No.
All right, so let's go eat. So I ended up having Thai food for lunch because I saw and heard about this awesome Thai restaurant. It's called Pun Chai, right in the downtown Copenhagen area, and it's supposed to have the best Thai food. I love Thai food. So, and plus their lunch special was appealing. I'm having Thai iced tea and chicken with basil. So, sorry. So that lunch was excellent. Let me tell you, Thai lunch, in general, Asian food in Copenhagen, Denmark is delicious. So I am standing behind Scandic Palace, and I heard that Hans Christian Andersen's collection is in there. So Hans Christian Andersen is the creator behind all these popular fairy tales, hence The Little Mermaid. So if you're ever in Copenhagen, definitely check out his Little Mermaid statue that's like a few miles away from here, but it's walking distance. And then his collection apparently is in the Scandic Palace. So hopefully I'm at the right place. Yeah, definitely look at the Little Mermaid movie. It's excellent, or read his books. I know he has like a whole bunch of other collection, but Little Mermaid is my favorite. So let's go see what's happening. It's a beautiful day. I keep saying that it's a beautiful day because for the last 2 days I was in Copenhagen, it was just raining like there's no tomorrow. So it's nice to know that there is actually sun in sunshine in Copenhagen. How cute is this museum from the outside? So the Museum of Copenhagen is about a 4-minute walk from the central train station in the heart of Copenhagen. Very excited to go and explore this beautiful museum and learn about the history of Copenhagen. I mean, I learned like so much, but I want to learn more. Look at that. So to enter the Museum of Copenhagen, it's free access on every Wednesday. It's about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and yeah, that's amazing. I don't know if I could take videos in here, but I'll give a high-level recap of my experience. Hey everyone, so I just finished exploring the Museum of Copenhagen. That's the entrance. It was such a welcoming and educational museum. So this museum literally engages with you. What I mean by that is like it has short films throughout the museum, and if you speak English, yeah, it also spells it out in simple English terminology. It also have this is so cool, they have telephones where they give you like certain numbers that you could dial, and obviously you could listen to the historical events that happen within that time frame in English or in Danish language. So it's pretty cool. I feel like when you visit Copenhagen, Denmark, this should be your first stop. If I was to redo my experience here in Copenhagen, Denmark, I would definitely explore this museum first. It talks about, you know, the history of Copenhagen, high level as well as detailed. So it's interesting that I remember in the beginning of my day one vlog, I said, when you think of Copenhagen, you think of the Baltic Sea. So that's how the first settlers came to Copenhagen, through the sea. It's interesting that most of the folks here were farmers, and eventually the city was damaged so many times, right? There was so much going on, but I like how the city and the folks here, they're all about togetherness and helping the community, especially the unfortunate. And it's very family oriented, which is like which is a universal thing, right? So I love that. It speaks about Christiania, that neighborhood that I said that's not part of the Danish typical government kind of area. Christiania, they have their own thing going, and I understand why, because when the city was developing that area, that neighborhood, Christiania, they actually, the folks that lived there invested, they used their own money to make the city better, you know, to build the houses and the shops and all that good stuff. So I can understand why they don't want to be controlled by the Danish government, and they have their own rules and regulation. So it kind of like connected the dots. Also, I love the fact that they have like homes throughout Copenhagen for folks that have like you know, that falls within a certain income range. So they have these special like homes, and the same thing in New York City too. I think the homes in New York City, I think it's Michelamas. That's what they refer to them as. Because I used to intern in a place once, and and that's how I learned about Michelamas. So I Section 8 too in New York City is for folks that you know, fall into a certain income, and they're able to get help from the government. So I think that's really amazing. I like the fact that you know, this museum is all about the Danish people. It talks a little about the Swedes and the Danish, like how they went back and forth, and a lot of rivalry. But overall, I say that prepare to spend like about 2 to 3 hours in the museum, and you could come here by yourself and, you know, just explore each exhibit at your own pace. I didn't like go to all exhibits. I only went to the ones that I found interesting. So I hope this vlog was helpful. Well, I hope this part of my vlog was helpful. So yeah, I am heading back to the hotel. You know, I really want to try Danish pastry and coffee before I actually leave Copenhagen. And I want to try the hot dog too, but I'm not sure. I'm not feeling it. Talk to you soon. Finally just checked out of my hotel, and since I am now a Danish pro, or I could be sort of like a local, I'm taking the bloody train back to the airport. The cab was like $40 US. Oh my god, things are so expensive in the city. Anyhow, the train station is right behind me, and they said that it was, I'm trying not to get people in my video. They said it was $7 USD to get back to the airport. Hi, so I made it to the airport, Copenhagen airport, and I took the train. It's so interesting that the train ride was so different from the train ride in New York City or wherever, any other countries I've been to. So the trains are electric trains, and there's a conductor. Apparently there's a robot driving it. It was real nice. It was 3 stops from downtown Copenhagen, and it's so inexpensive. And Google Maps is like seriously my best friend now. So I've been stopped being so like super cheap and using my data for the Google Maps instead of asking people for questions. So now I'm heading to Terminal 2, which is right behind me, and I'm taking Ryanair, and I'm heading to Budapest. Hey everyone, so I finally had the opportunity to eat that hot dog. Oh my god, it was so good. I don't know, I felt like I was like missing out. I should have like had a hot dog the first day I was here, but I just wanted to be cautious. I felt as though the hot dog melted in my mouth. It tasted so good, or maybe because I was so hungry. So check mark. I wanted to try the hot dog, and a Danish hot dog. Excuse me. So I had it at the airport. It was really, really, really good. Gosh, it tasted like KFC chicken, but I would say healthy KFC chicken. I am not an alcoholic or anything, but I did have a beer. So I had the Carlsberg beer, and it's a Danish beer. It's highly recommended to drink a beer here. It's my first beer in Denmark, because I had like so much going on. I wanted to leave this for like, you know, the last moment. So I decided to have it at the airport. So I kind of like saved a little, because I took the train from downtown Copenhagen to the airport. So it was like around $7 USD as opposed to paying like $40 USD. So I saved like around I would say $33 USD. So yeah, I'm using that to eat up a little. The only thing that I'm missing is a Danish pastry. So I may try that before I get on the plane. I am here. I have like 2 more hours at the airport. So anyhow, I just want to give a recap of my day. I had an excellent tour outside of Copenhagen, Denmark. So I went to climb the forest tower, and it's located about 55 minutes or so from Denmark. So the forest tower is very similar to the vessel in New York City. It's just that the forest tower is surrounded by nature. It's a really decent climb. Like, you don't have to be super in shape, because I'm kind of chunky. Honestly, you don't have to like put a lot of energy into climbing. You just have to invest that energy into booking your ticket. And this guy Vinod, I think he's the only one that's given this tour in Denmark, Copenhagen. Very nice guy. It's very personal experience. He's Indian descent. I think that's really cool. He's very family oriented, very respectful. So give him a chance. And I feel like the tour is a little expensive, but it's totally worth it, because the cabs fare like in Denmark is ridiculously expensive. I feel like it's worse than New York City. And too bad they don't have Uber here, right? The government doesn't allow it. So yeah, and after that I was able to hit up Copenhagen Museum to learn more about Copenhagen as a whole. One thing I take away from that museum is that the Danish people, they work together. It's all about togetherness, to better themselves, and to better the future generation. So I think that's pretty interesting. There's a lot that you could do in that museum, and the museum is free on Wednesdays. So if you're here Wednesdays, take advantage of it. Anything you get free in this expensive city, go for it. I also went out to scope out Hans Christian Andersen collection, and it's located, I thought it was located in a Scandic hotel, but it's not. It's actually located right next door, Ripley's Believe It or Not. So it's like a section like on the right hand side. You don't have to like go through the whole museum. His collection is like about 15 minutes long to do a deep dive, but I ended up taking an hour because I totally like his work. So hence The Little Mermaid. If you are familiar with the fairy tale A Little Mermaid, that's one of his popular collection. So yeah, there's like a whole bunch of other things to do. It's in English and a whole bunch of other languages so you could explore. Highly recommend doing that if you're his fan, and definitely check out the Little Mermaid statue. It's about a 30-minute walk from the heart of Copenhagen, or you could just I don't know, like rent a bicycle and ride to the area. Highly recommend that. Yeah, and the cool thing about staying in a hotel in downtown Copenhagen, you could actually like leave your stuff there, like your bag and stuff, and if you have like a later flight like I do, and then you know do a lot of sightseeing throughout the day. Just make sure you're back in time to go to the airport. But anyhow, I totally love my adventure in Copenhagen, Denmark. I really enjoy the culture here. The Danish people are so nice. I was highly surprised at the English here. The English system is very keen. So everyone like speaks English, like really good English. Or if they don't, they'll like do their best to help you. But when you're in a tourist area, like everyone speaks English. The city is extremely expensive, but coming from New York City, it's, you know, it was not like a big thing because New York City is expensive. I guess you just have to know how to budget so you don't overspend. If you go to like a really expensive restaurant, obviously you will spend a lot. So plus I was in Lisbon, Portugal before I came to Copenhagen. So like being in Lisbon is so you know, affordable, right? And then coming to Denmark is like, wow, especially getting into that cab from the airport and going into downtown Copenhagen was like a shocker. Anyhow, it's all worth it. Lesson learned. There's so much to do in the city. A lot of museums, a lot of pubs, a lot of cafes, a lot of restaurants. Very diverse. Like there's so many like other kind of restaurants here, like different cultures. Asian food is very popular here. Indian food, American food. Like I said, I didn't eat much Danish food until today. That a hot dog. I don't know. I had an urge to eat Asian food. So pretty good. But overall, I had a great experience, and I really hope my my vlog was able to give you a little flavor of Copenhagen, Denmark. If you want to, you know, visit in the future, and I do welcome feedback and you know, compliments. So I really appreciate your time on this platform. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope to see you soon, and stay tuned for my other vlog, and take care. Bye.